Hello and welcome. This is going to be the third entry in my It's Late Night and I'm talking about crowdfund update series where we're talking about how to do good crowdfunds. In the previous two videos, we talked about what the Rags team was doing and how they were using a mechanism outside of Patreon to get me to pay attention to Patreon updates. Also, we talked about the Mythiverse and what they were doing with Changeling and how their regular updates on their crowdfund platform were providing me with enough stuff that I knew 100% I was going to get the dang book no matter what, because I knew where the book was at any moment in time. We're going to talk about Jack Irons number 4 here, a book which is, I don't know, probably maybe going to be a little bit late, but not a big deal. You know why it's not a big deal? Because I know pretty much where the book stands. And you're thinking, oh, you're just going to come over here and you're going to show a whole bunch of like updates, right? And how he's been updating every week, just like the Mythiverse people. No, that's not how often Cody updates. Cody updates like maybe once a month here on Indiegogo. He shows off like the key things he wants you to know, like, hey, look at this cool standee, right? You see stuff. One of the things I like is all of his updates sound like Cody. He writes here just like he talks. How do I know how he talks? Well, let's look at the most recent update. Oh, look. Jack Irons Cowboy 4 video update and delay. Howdy, folks. Video has more details. Long story short, we're missing our deadline and physical orders. Feel free to contact me with questions or concerns. We have a few pages, colors, and lettering to go. Okay, so it looks like the book will be late. Not a big deal. Now, the other thing is, it ties in with this. See how that was a video update? The dude has a lot of video updates. For a long time, I think he was streaming like every weekday or something. And what was he doing? He'd get on for like an hour. He'd talk about the book. Get on for like an hour. He would be working on materials related to the book. Like he'd be putting together little marketing animations or cropping photos or doing whatever. Or he'd be tinkering with his stream layout. Or he would be doing something related to it. And that serves two purposes. One, it's showing you what he's working on. He's not the artist. He's not going to be drawing the book. So he's got some time on his hands. You can only write so many things when you have a low budget. Because you're going to run out of money to pay artists, right? So he's out there doing this, telling people what's going on, and, crucially, making himself available. I had just clicked into this video and clicked through it a little bit to see what it's talking about. I didn't watch this live. I usually watch stuff on Twitch, not actually on YouTube. But he does a lot of stuff here. Like, he'll hang out and be working on the book. He'll do a little bit of gaming. He's done some, like, painting things. I think there's one stream he did where he was doing sketch cards somewhere. Yeah, right here. So he's multiple times a week out there streaming on Twitch and on YouTube at the same time because of Restream, which is a cool thing. It just doesn't work for me. Making himself available, talking about what's on his mind, and most importantly, the dude is just being himself. Let's go back to the beginning of this.
And I know folks saw it, so it's no with Ironverse Comics and Cody.
Yeah, listen to this little intro here.
Okay, howdy folks, Cody here. Grabbing some coffee. No, with Ironverse Comics and Cody talking comics.
So you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Like, he's not out here playing a character. He's not putting up a facade. He ain't fronting. You know? What is what is like the term the kids use? God, I'm gonna butcher this. You know, he's like, no cap, straight busting for real, for real. Like, come on. Yeah, how do you do, fellow kids? But he's not playing a character. He's coming out here. He's being earnest and forthright and honest. He's just being Cody. And if you like it, great. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. The dude is pretty cool. And he's always willing to talk about this stuff. And he's willing to talk about difficult things too on stream. Like, this is kind of, I clicked in here and was like clicking around this video to kind of see what's going on. Here's not so fun thread. So this is like he's talking about the stuff that's going on in his life. Part of the reason things are delayed. Part of the reason he's changed some of the scope of what he's working on, what he's going to pursue in comic books. He's just letting you know, hey, here's what's going on. Here's what I think about it. Here's how I'm dealing with it. And if you want, making himself extremely available to you, to me. You can just pop in here when Homeboy is streaming and talk to him. Because he's not a character. He's a dude. I hope you understand like what I'm getting at here. Because sometimes you go on a stream and the person on the stream is not themselves. They're just playing a character. I try not to do this in any of my stuff, which is one of the reasons why, yeah, whatever. We're not getting into that. We're not getting into that. But I just try to be me. Yeah, sure, I've got like the crazy fractal logo and stuff, and absolutely spam Twitter with garbage. But when you come on my streams, hanging out with me. And I appreciate every minute you spend with me. I appreciate that you sacrifice some of your time to hang out with me. And I think Cody, at his core, kind of the same way. He's just coming in, hanging out, and if you want to hang out with him, great, and he appreciates it. And he's making himself available for questions or whatever, and I've never seen him not address something. Come in here and you're like, hey man, what's going on? He's going to tell you what's going on. That super availability on a regular basis is absolutely phenomenal. And I think somewhere he said in this video, like I'd clicked randomly somewhere, and he's like, yeah, I didn't end up streaming last week, so I'm trying to make up for it here, like something like that. And there's that honesty. He's not saying, hey, I didn't stream because I was like out mountain climbing, I was hiking the Sierra Madres or something. No, he's just like, hey, life stuff happened and I didn't get to stream. There's no character here. 100% Cody all the time. And that interaction, his availability, his willingness to talk about difficult stuff means I am absolutely, completely not worried about Jack Irons. I know I'm going to get this book. You know why? Cody talks about it all the time. He wants to get it to me. He doesn't want this book sitting out there unfulfilled. He wants to get this book to me so that he can tackle other challenges in his life and maybe come back and make issue number 5, a year from now or something when stuff is squared away. That's the kind of person he is, and I appreciate that. And if you're a creator out there and you're wondering, how do I communicate with my audience? How do I communicate with my paying customers? If you like to stream, if you like to just talk instead of type, you could do a whole lot worse than watching what Cody does and kind of aping his style, because it's honest, it's open, and he is super approachable at all times. All right, you all take care of yourselves. You have a great day, great night, great whatever you got going on when you watch this thing. I don't know that I'm going to do another video because I think I've kind of covered the high points, like all the interesting things I see people I know on campaigns that I have backed doing. I mean, I could talk about like Brian Polito, but let's be honest. Brian Polito has a team of like 20 people working on his campaign. Like, it's not one person going and doing stuff. It doesn't count. I go talk about like what some other people do, where they put their book up and then they ship it to you immediately because it's already made. But that's kind of going against the spirit of crowdfunding. Like, yeah, it's cool, I like actually getting my product in like 1 month after I order it. But that's just a pre-order store. You don't need to crowdfund that. You can just put a storefront up and be like, yo, pre-order your book here, bro. So there's nothing to talk about there. And I don't know that I've seen anybody else doing something as effectively as any of these 3 groups of creators that I've talked about when it comes to crowdfunding. They've all done things in their own way. They've done it very well. There's a lot of bad examples out there, and I'm probably not going to show any of that because I don't want to pick on people. I don't want people to think I'm picking on people. I do enough of that when I talk about books being late. We don't need more negativity than that in our lives. So talk about the things you love. If you've got a creator out there that you think does this stuff really well, let me know about it so I can check it out and see what they're doing. And who knows, you might have just sold another customer on what they're doing. Take care of yourselves. I think I already said this, but bye-bye.